Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to our nutrition boot camp call this week. Today is a little different. We're actually not really talking about nutrition at all. But I believe that the thing that we are talking about bleeds into every single area of your life, and it makes it that much easier to do healthy nutrition, especially during the holidays. It makes it that much easier to live a happy and fulfilled life. It makes it that much easier to play hard, work hard, all the things. Yes. So today we're actually talking about play. I don't know. Some of you watch my stories, some of you don't. I'm not sure. But the last like 10 boxes that we had to unpack in my house were just books and books and books and books and books. And me and my family finally unpacked them on Friday, and it was absolute mayhem because we had books everywhere, but because we don't have any bookshelves to put the books. But I found all my books, and one of my very favorite books ever, if not my favorite book ever, is this book right here. It's called The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. And it says, let go of who you are. Oh my gosh, let me try that again. Let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you are. And it is a short book. It's like 100 and something pages, like 116 pages. The chapters are super short. And I've only read it all the way through once, and that's going to change. I'm going to be reading it again here soon. But I remember so many impactful lessons from this book. And one of them, she talks about 8 guideposts about let going of who you think you're supposed to be and embracing who you are. And okay, I lied, there's 10. But there's 2 that are specifically about like giving yourself permission to play. And I will tell you straight up, there was a period of time for probably like a month or 2 that I was like, I don't personally, oh, Jackie is waiting, sorry. I don't personally struggle a lot with depression and things like that. Seasonal, yes, but I don't have like clinical depression. It runs in my family, but I have definitely noticed since becoming a mom that like depressive tendencies tend to flare up because I am a social being, and sometimes being stuck at home because of nap time and because of sick kids and because of XYZ, whatever I need to do the laundry for 7 million people, actually really only 4, but it feels like 7 million people. And like the dishes and the never ending house tasks that happen over and over again. I was just really finding myself like struggling with like just feelings of sadness and loneliness and like all the sad emotions. And I was like, I need to find a way out of this. And I always attributed it, and when we lived in Utah, to okay, it's like dark and gloomy and cloudy outside. Like maybe I just am missing the sun. And as soon as like I get some sunshine or go outside or whatever, it'll help. But I since moved to Vegas, the sun has been shining. That's not it. Yes. And I'm grateful to know that. And I'm grateful for the sun, but it was a lack of doing things that bring me joy. So I really took some time. I read the book. Oh gosh, now I'm blanking what it's called. It's all about happiness. Let me look it up because I want to tell you just in case you also want to read it. It's called The Happiness Advantage, and it was so good. It was so good. And one of the main points I got from that book, I wasn't planning to share this, but now I feel like I need to share this, so maybe I need to share it with you too. But there's a part in The Happiness Advantage where he talks about Zorro, and he talks about when Zorro was going through, and I don't know how many of you guys have seen that movie. It's like, it was made in the 90s, so it's a little old now. But he talks about Anthony Hopkins training Zorro, right? And there was a part at the beginning of his training that he just drew a tiny little circle around Zorro. And he had to master fighting in that circle before he could expand that circle, and before he could fight outside of that circle, and before he could do his whole flipping, leaping off of all the things and ropes and all the acrobaticness First, he had to master this tiny little circle and fighting within that circle. And in the Happiness Advantage, he talked about, okay, what is your circle? What is it that you have to master to become Zorro, to become your own version of Zorro? What is it that you're missing? And what do you need to master to become the you that you're supposed to be? And I instantly thought of my personal Zorro. And it had been something that I was struggling with for a really long time. I'll share it with you just because I will share it with you. But for me, it was a work-related thing that I was like super great at building relationships with people, super great at sending invites to people, but I sucked at actually looking at my messages to see if anybody responded to the connection that I had made or the invite that I had sent. And I don't know why. I think I was just afraid of being rejected, or like, okay, I did it. I sent my invite. Okay, I did it. I built my relationship. Okay, I did it. I checked the box. And there was no box to ever check about like returning their message, but that's kind of like a no-brainer. Like, you can't, right? Like, I can't talk to you conversation face to face and be like, so how was your day? And then like, peace out. Like, because that doesn't count. Like, I didn't hear how your day went. So who cares that I asked you how your day was, right? So I knew for myself, and I knew for my life, for my business, that was like sucking my soul. And it was like weighing on me. It was like depressing because I wasn't doing the things that I needed to do to help my family financially, to help my people, to help my clients and customers and coaches and all the things, because I wasn't checking on them. And so when I listened to that book, I was like, okay, this is my Zorro circle. Like, I am a perfectionist, and I have told myself that if I can't clean out my inbox 100%, I might as well just not even try. And that's what I was doing because mom life was getting in the way, and I did not have 3 hours to sit and go back to messages that I had missed from literally, you guys, I found messages from 53 weeks ago in my Instagram inbox. It's a problem, okay? Not anymore. It was a problem. Okay, so that was my Zorro circle. And I have since mastered that by doing half an hour a day, 30 minutes. I set a timer and I just respond to messages for 30 minutes. And 90% of the time, I can 100% respond to everything that's been sent in the last 24 hours in 30 minutes. And it has been so empowering to me to, one, keep a promise that I actually made to myself, and two, to prove to myself how quickly I can do it, that it really doesn't take 3 hours. And when you stick to it every single day, you don't have messages from 53 weeks ago weighing on you because you read them 53 weeks ago and you actually responded to them 53 weeks ago. So I don't know what your Zorro circle is, but I really want to encourage you to do that figuring out for yourself and to figure out what it is that you need to master. And one small, tiny step, like 30 minutes in your inbox, right? Or whatever, to become the person that you were meant to be. And then as soon as that circle, you've mastered that circle, then you can expand it to be something bigger. Maybe that's specific to your own health and fitness journey. Maybe it's something specific to your life as a mom. Maybe it's something specific to your life as a housewife. Maybe it's something specific to your nutrition. Maybe it's something specific to your personal development and growth, right? Whatever that area is for you that you need to master, it's probably already come to you. It was like your first thought, and you need to act on that. Yes. Again, I was not even planning to talk about that at all, but apparently I needed to. That was the biggest takeaway that I had in the book, The Happiness Advantage. And that book is all about being happy. And I will tell you, ever since I started mastering that, my Zorro circle, I have been so much happier. And it sounds so dumb that 30 minutes returning messages, but it got me. One, it took the weight off because that was something that was weighing on me that I knew I needed to do that I just wasn't doing. And it made it so that I had to expand outside of myself, and I couldn't be so woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, because I was spending time with other people. And I don't really have a lot of friends here in Vegas, like like personal one. I've met so many fabulous acquaintances, but I don't have any like besties yet. You know, we've lived here for about a year, 9 months in our house, but a year in Vegas. And ever since I started doing that, guess what's happened? I've met people that live in Vegas that I didn't realize lived in Vegas. And we have play dates scheduled and all these things because I've gotten out of myself. And so guess what? I'm making friends. Like it literally was one of those things that it just came to me so fast. I would not have ever thought that that was my Zorro circle, but as soon as I mastered that, it has literally made me so much happier. Another thing that has made my life so much happier since I've intentionally started to do it is I have a Rise Up journal. I've talked about it a couple times before, but it's like there's a spot in your Rise Up journal where you have 9 things where you get to, there's a spot to check it off. It's very similar in layout. That's actually where I got the layout of the tracker thing that is in our Powerful Beyond Measure Fight Club thing, where it's like your goal, how many times you actually did it, the percentage. That came from my Rise Up journal, that whole concept. But you get to fill in your own 9 things according to the vision that you have for your life, according to your own personal goals, not just in business and whatever, but like in your life. So one of the things that I have started putting on my Rise Up journal is to play unplugged. And to me, that means that I played without any form of technology. The TV was not on. My phone was not anywhere nearby for at least 15 minutes. And I cannot even tell you the relief that it has brought me to know that I am spending 15 minutes every single day with my kids, creating memories. And it's like super simple stuff. Like we go on a walk, or we go jump on the trampoline, or I just go outside with them and watch them go down the slide. Or I sit down on the floor of my living room and play dinosaurs with my son. Or we build an obstacle course for his little monster trucks. And it's full of yoga mats and Beachbody steps and all the things that make it cool and awesome. Yeah. Like it's nothing crazy. Sometimes we just go in our playroom and we just throw Mickey around for 15 minutes. And I don't set a timer. It's not like okay, it's been 15 minutes. Bye. I'm going to go be productive now. It's just, I tell myself, okay, I'm going to play for 15 minutes. And sometimes it's actually only 10 before my kids lose their attention with whatever it is that we're doing. Sometimes it turns into 30 or 45 minutes. But it has always left me feeling so fulfilled. And I will tell you, the days that I do it versus the days that I don't, my kids are so much better at letting me do my stuff because I intentionally took the time to be 100% present and focused on them. So then they're totally fine when I'm turning around and being 100% focused on dinner, or focused on folding the laundry, or focused on doing work tasks, or focused on whatever it is that I need to do, because I gave them the time that they needed. Yeah. And so I know that people on here have like different ages and stages of children, or maybe you don't have kids at all yet, but this principle is 100% true no matter how old your kids are. Play looks different if you're playing with a 15-year-old versus a 2-year-old, but just taking the time to stop and listen, to actually talk and to ask them about their lives, and truly being willing to listen more than you talk, and listening with the intent to hear, and listening with the intent to understand, not listening with the intent to counsel or teach or preach or whatever, just like truly just listening. Yeah. And same thing is true for a 2-year-old. Like sometimes they just need somebody to listen to them babble about their whatever they're babbling about forever. Yeah. So anyways, I just really wanted to share that. Okay. So back to this book, The Gifts of Imperfection. One of my very favorite parts that she talks about is, okay, I'll just read it. She says, she's actually quoting someone else. Brown. I don't know who the first name is. She's quoting somebody with the last name Brown. Oh, Dr. Stuart Brown. He's a psychiatrist. and he's a clinical researcher and the founder of the National Institute for Play. That sounds epic. I want to be that. But he says the opposite of play is not work. The opposite of play is depression. He explains, respecting our biologically programmed need for play can transform work. It can bring back excitement and newness to our job. Play helps us deal with difficulties, provides a sense of expansiveness, promotes mastery of our craft, and is an essential part of the creative process. Most important, true play that comes from our own inner needs and desires is the only path to finding lasting joy and satisfaction in our work. In the long run, work does not work without play. I love that. Because I think all of us probably naturally think like, okay, I can either play or I can work. Like, no, it's I can either play or I can be depressed. And truly allowing yourself to play will help you to be more effective in all of the areas of your life. And I'm not here to tell you what that looks like for you. For you, maybe play is taking a nap. Maybe play is cleaning your house. Maybe play is sitting down with your kids and playing with them. Like I said, I like to do. Yeah, maybe play is leaving and going to an art class or a dance class or a yoga class or whatever, something, and doing that every once in a while. Yeah, maybe play is, I don't even know. The options are endless. Maybe play is like doing something church related or family history work or whatever brings you joy. Yes. So I truly want to challenge you to figure that out for yourself, to figure out what brings you joy. And for those who are religious, I personally went through my patriarchal blessing, and it talks so much about, if you're not the same religion as me, a patriarchal blessing, it's a blessing, a special blessing that you get once in your whole life that tells you basically like the specific gifts that you have, and there's like specific counsel just for you for your life, and it's pretty profound. So mine specifically talks about the things that bring me joy, like multiple times. And so I went through it and I wrote down everything that it says, like joy will be in your life as you blah, 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 blah. And I made it an affirmation. And I changed it to say like, because I love myself, I do things every single day that bring me joy. And I list out, I take time to teach and play with my children. I take time to learn and teach the gospel. I take time to serve others. I take time to go outside. I take time to keep myself and my home clean, because those things bring me joy, a lot of joy, especially if I do all those things in the same day. If I do at least one of those things every day, then it's a good day. But if I do all those things in one day, it's like a really good day. Yeah. But some people might not think that cleaning their house is play, but I do, because that makes me really happy, to have a clean home. So, I love this part too. So, she talks about how she and her husband sat down together and made a practical list of the things that made their family work. They basically answered the question, when things are going well in our family, what does it look like? The answers included sleep, exercise, healthy food, cooking, time off, weekends away, going to church, being present with the kids, a sense of control over our money, meaningful work that doesn't consume us, time to piddle, time with family and close friends, and time to just hang out. Those were and are our ingredients for joy and meaning. And then she says, then we looked at the dream list that we started making a couple of years ago and keep adding to. Everything on this list was an accomplishment or an acquisition, a house with more bedrooms, a trip here, personal salary goals, professional endeavors, and so forth. Everything required that we make more money and spend more money. When we compared our dream list to our joy and meaning list, we realized that by merely letting go of the list of things we want to accomplish and acquire, we would be actually living our dream, not striving to make it happen in the future, but living it right now. The things we were working toward did nothing in terms of making our life fuller. And is this me telling you to stop dreaming and stop setting goals? No. No, it's not. Hold on. Who's being nicey and meanie?
Shere Khan and Mufasa.
Oh my gosh.
Shere Khan is mean, and Spider-Man and Cheetah are trying to run away from him.
Oh my gosh.
So Mufasa is saying, well, what's wrong?
Did he answer?
Yeah.
Do you want to say hi to my friends?
No.
Okay, go keep playing with Dad, okay? We'll talk more in a little bit.
He's working too.
Oh, he's working too? Okay. Go have fun with Shere Khan. Embracing our joy and meaningless has not been easy. There are days when it makes perfect sense, and then there are days when I get sucked into believing how much better everything would feel if we just had a really great guest room or a better kitchen, or if I got to speak here or write an article for that popular magazine. So yes, it is important to continue to set goals, but it is also important to remember your own list of ingredients for joy and meaning and live those ingredients every single day as you're also pushing for the goals that you have and not just waiting for your life to be happy until you reach those goals, right? I love, she goes on to talk about how she extended this to be with her child. She told her child that she had to pick between multiple sports and Girl Scouts and after school activities. And she said at first her daughter was resistant. She pointed out that she did fewer things than most of her friends, and it was true. She has many friends who are in 2 or 3 sports every semester and take music lessons and language lessons and art classes. These kids wake up at 6 a.m. and go to bed at 10 p.m. We explained that the cutting down was part of a larger family plan. I had decided to go part-time at the university, and her dad was going to a 4-day work week. She looked at us as if we were bracing for bad news. She asked, "Is anything wrong?" We explained that we wanted more downtime, more time to hang out and take it easy. After we swore that we weren't sick, she got excited and asked, "Are we making time for more TV?" I explained, "No, we're just making more family playtime. Your dad and I love our work, but it can be very demanding. I travel and have writing deadlines, and your dad has to be on call. You also work hard at your schoolwork. We want to make sure that we schedule in downtime for all of us." While this experience may sound great, it was terrifying for me as a parent. What if I'm wrong? What if busy and exhausted is what it takes? What if she doesn't get to go to the college of her choice because she doesn't play the violin and speak Mandarin and French and she doesn't play 6 sports? What if we're normal and quiet and happy? Does that count? I guess the answer to this is only yes if it counts to us. If what matters to us is what we're concerned about, then play and rest is important. If what matters to us is what other people think or say or value, then it's back to exhaustion and producing for self-worth. Today, I choose play and rest. So I love that. I just love the one-liner. What if we're normal and quiet and happy? Does that count? And I think, yes, like she said, if that's important to you, then yes, it is. That totally counts. And we don't have to be busy to be happy. We don't have to be accomplishing 400 things off of our to-do list to be happy. There's another chapter that just talks all about cultivating laughter, song, and dance, letting go of being cool and always in control. And then there's a quote by Mark Twain that says, "Dance like no one is watching, sing like no one is listening, love like you've never been hurt, and live like it's heaven on earth." And some of my favorite times with my kids are just when we turn on music and just dance around our kitchen or sing songs together. And there is really something magical about dance and laughter and music. So truly, I know this had nothing to do with nutrition, but did it though? Because when you're giving yourself time to play, and even sometimes giving yourself time to play with the food that you're eating, and I don't literally mean like yay, we're going to take our peas and juggle them. Like, no, like give yourself permission to try new things, and give yourself permission to eat at a restaurant you've never had before, and give yourself permission to make new recipes, and give yourself permission to try new desserts. Yes, desserts every once in a while. And give yourself the freedom to play, even in your nutrition. How much more fulfilling can it be? Because this is your life, right? If it's just rigid and structured and I have to do this, right? Like, then it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fulfilling, and it's not going to be something that you want to do long term ever. Yeah. And this is a random aside, but I really want to challenge you. I hear it so often when my mom is doing a new thing with her eating. And we offer her something, and she says, "No, I can't have that." And me and my older sister always remind her, you can have it, you're just choosing not to. And so I always strive to say, like, when someone offers me something that I don't want, I say something like, no, thank you, I choose not to have that. And it's more empowering to me in my choices, that I'm choosing to be healthier. And I don't feel limited, and I don't feel restricted, and I don't feel like I can't, woe is me, right? Like, I'm choosing not to. So yay, that's all I've got for you today. I don't see anything in the chat. So if you're on live, stay on live. We can chat more. If you're on the recording, I love you. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next week.